Hello, if you are watching this video, then you have purchased my Pro Retouching Essentials pack, and I want to say thank you so much for purchasing it. I hope this pack would improve your retouching and make it faster. So let's just get straight into how this is going to work. If you just bought it, all you have to do is unzip it after downloading the files. Once you unzip it, you're going to find these three actions there. All you have to do is install it, and to install it, you just have to double click it, or right click and open with whatever Photoshop you have. You can also come to your Photoshop actions panel. If it's like this, just uncheck the button mode up here and you can load your actions, but I just like my button mode ticked, and that way even with the button mode you can still load your actions, and that way everything just looks cleaner. Once you've installed it, you're going to see your advanced frequency separation, basic frequency separation, skin smoothing frequency separation. You're going to see all these things here. All of them are going to be, I think, 17 in number. And once you see everything, all you have to do is just click to start using it. So let's start with the basic frequency separation. All you have to do is just click and it will prompt you for your blur radius. If you want your images to be really smooth, you can use the reduced blur radius. If you want it to be, pretty sharp, you want to maintain a lot more detail, you can just increase your blur radius. But personally, I think 14 is like a really nice place for beauty images. So just click OK. And that's your basic frequency separation. Once you open it, you just have your high FS layer and your low FS layer. FS for frequency separation. So let's just go with FS. Now, if you want the advanced one, all you have to do is click it again and it will prompt you and you just click OK. The difference now is you have extra layers, and these extra layers are the ones you work on. So if you have or you make any mistake, all you have to do is delete it and duplicate the layer. Hold let's just make that happen. So if I delete this, let's say I made a mistake in my high layer, all I have to do is duplicate this high layer, change my blend mode to normal, hold Option or alternate on PC, and if you hover between both layers, you see this clip mask and just clip it down. That's what you have to do once you make a mistake. So that is our advanced frequency separation layer. And for our skin smoothing frequency separation, what this does is that it uses a really low blur radius, so you do not have to pick your blur radius. And if you retouch your skin, especially if you use the mixer brush tool, which I would advise you use if you are just new to Prince Mason and my technique, I always use the mixer brush tool to retouch on the low frequency layer. It will just make your images really smooth. So what I'm going to do is just show you guys an example. So my mixer brush tool, I'm just going to go over this and you can see how that place is really smooth. So go over this place again and you guys can see how smooth it's getting. So this is just going to make your images really smooth. Like I said, it is skin smoothing frequency separation. So let's just delete that. That's just going to leave the least amount of texture in your images. Now, the good thing about frequency separation, if I just go back, is you can always reduce the opacity of the whole layer to match wherever you want. So if you've overdone it, you can reduce the opacity of the layer to where you want it to be. So let's just delete that. And let's move to the next action, which is dodge. So if you dodge and burn, you can just click your dodge if you need only your dodge, or you can click just your burn if you need only your burn layer. Then there are the micro dodge and burn layers, which are here, and we also have the global dodge and burn layers for global dodge and burn. So all you have to do is use a white brush to paint over it, and it will dodge and burn your images. That is paint over the layer mask. So very simple and very easy to use. If you do not know too much about dodge and burn, I've downloaded this. Just go on YouTube and search. There are a lot of videos, on dodge and burn. You can go check out the Prince Mason channel too on YouTube, and you see my videos on dodge and burn. So this is the invert check layer. What the invert check layer does is it changes your image to black and white and it inverts it. So the light part of your images become dark and the dark parts of your images become light. The reason why I like this technique to dodge and burn your images is that it removes color from your image, and all you can see is the black and whites of your image. So, and dodge and burn is just removing and adding light to your images, just adding shadows to some certain places, adding highlights to some certain places so that you can just blend your image out. So that's the amazing thing about dodge and burn, and this just makes it easy for you to see where you have all the blemishes. But this image is already retouched, so I'm going to turn off the retouched one so you guys can see the unretouched one. You can see all the blemishes on her face. You can see all the uneven shadows and highlights. Another thing you can do is come into your levels adjustment layer, and you can just drag your levels back, and that way you can see more. I'll pull it forward, and that way you can see more of the light parts or the dark parts. You can see where you want to work on. So let's say I want to work on this part of her face. I'm just going to pull it towards my left, and you know, I can see more in here. But let's say I want to work on these other parts and they're too bright. All I have to do is drag it towards my highlights, and as you guys can see, it gets dark. So that's how you use your invert check layer. Now, if you just want the complete dodge and burn, all you have to do is just click the complete dodge and burn, and it opens all the dodge and burn layers for you and your invert check layer. So it opens your micro dodge and burn and opens an extra micro dodge and burn for you. In case you need to do any extra work, then you also have your global dodge and burn and your invert check layer. You know, this is just to open everything once and for all, so you don't have to come clicking again. Then after that, if you want to reduce the reds in your images, just click this and it will reduce your reds. And if for some reason it's too much, you can always, you know, just reduce the opacity. But if it's not enough, you can duplicate it and, you know, just create another one to make it even reduce the reds further. So that's that. Then we have our eyes and teeth whitening. Let's say we want to whiten our eyes. All you have to do is just click this and it opens for you. Open it, then come down to your photo filter, pick a white brush, make sure it's a white soft brush, and just brush over your subject's eyes or teeth, and it will whiten and brighten the eyes for you. Then you can always reduce the opacity of the entire layer too. So that's how your eyes and teeth whitening actions work. So if you want your tones to just be richer and more contrasty, just click the rich tones and it gives you this really nice rich, soft but contrasty look. Then we have our light contrast if you want to add contrast to your image, so that's just a light contrast. And we have our strong contrast if you want your contrast to be strong, but if it's too much, like I said, you can always just reduce your opacity to match where you want it to be. So let's take that out. And now moving to the smart sharpen. If you want to sharpen your images, all you have to do is click the smart sharpen and it will load. It might take a while, like it is taking on my PC, but you know, if you have a faster PC, then it might not take this long, or I don't know. But you know, because we have a couple files in this, it's just going to take a lot longer because of our smart filters. So now you can just sharpen in real time and reduce your sharpening in real time, so you can see how it's affecting your image in real time. If you are working with beauty images, I don't advise you go too much, so somewhere around 2.3 is fine, and we'll click OK. So let's just zoom in and see our before and our after. Before and our after. See, looks really nice. Now let's move to our skin texture. So if you're looking to add skin texture to your image, let's say we just want to put some texture on her face, all we have to do is click our skin texture and it's going to load. Then for the emboss, all you have to do is pick the side that your light's coming from. Pick where your light's coming from. Mine is 90 degrees because it's directly above my subject, so somewhere around here is fine. And all you have to do is play with the height and the amount to match your subject's skin. So for this, I might just increase the height a little bit and the amount maybe just a little bit, and click OK. Then what I'll do again is my radius, I always leave it at 2.7 so it blurs it out a little bit. Click OK and pick a white brush. Make sure that your flow is set to about 10. So 10 works. And now we can just paint texture into her face. So let's paint some texture here, so you guys can see. Paint some more here, paint some more on her forehead, and let's see her before and her after. So just look at the forehead. Let's see her before and her after, her before and her after. So look here and you see some texture too, before and her after. So let's just paint some little texture here. So see her before and her after, as you guys can see. Now the good thing about it is that you can always come inside, go back to like your emboss, click OK, and just mess around with this until you find out that it is working for you. So somewhere around, no, that's too much, somewhere around here is fine for me. Let me reduce my height and see. So somewhere around here is fine for me, and I'm just going to click OK and see before and after, and that works for me. So that is for skin texture. And now if you want to even out the skin, maybe there are just too many textures in some places, all you have to do is come down to your reduce texture, click on your reduce texture, just let it load. And now that it has loaded, these values work pretty well. So just click OK. And you can see how soft the image is right now. Look at your before, look at the after. It has made the image really soft and her skin. All you have to do is pick a black brush, set your flow to 100%, and just remove the effect from her eyes and her lips and also her hair, or your subject's hair. Kept saying her. And you can see how nice and soft the skin looks, right? Okay. That's great. So let's say we want to blend the whole skin in. We don't want any of these gray patches here. We just want the whole skin to look nice. What we're going to do is just click on even skin tones, and your gradient map will open. So we're going to come to the brightest part of our gradient map, and once you click this, your color picker tool will come up. Click the brightest part of her face, so somewhere around her nose, so that's really bright. Come to your midtones, click the midtones, somewhere around here is fine. Then go to your shadows and click the shadows in her face, and then click OK. And now all you have to do is use a white brush, set your flow to 100 to paint it into her skin. Try to avoid the eyes and the lips, but I'm just not doing such a great job here. I would advise you take your time to do this. So now we can increase our opacity to see the effect. So you guys can see as I'm going higher, it's getting too much. So we're just going to leave our opacity at, like, let's say 30, so you guys can see the effect. Now let me zoom in, see the before and the after. Look at her neck, look right here, look at the before and the after. This has just balanced her skin tones out, and everything just looks seamless and it looks really nice. This is an effect I use all the time. So yeah, that's about it. That is the A to Z of all the actions that are here. If I was to go in depth, then this would probably be such a long video, but I'm trying to make this as short as possible so you guys just know how everything works and what everything does. Anyways, that's the A to Z of these actions. If I was to go in depth and just try to explain everything one after the other and what everything can do, it's just going to take too long. But these are the basic things that I can do, and I'm pretty sure you guys can create amazing things with these actions and also even do things that I've not thought about doing with them. Anyways, thank you so much for purchasing. I really appreciate it, and I hope that this will take your retouching to another level. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.